Save us, O Most High, the cry, our power, and gather us from among the heathen, to give thanks unto thy holy name, and to triumph in thy praise. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. And let all the people say, Hallelujah, so be it. Praise ye the Most High. So this is what we got to look at, y'all. We got to come back to doing what's right. And it starts with not following these different idols that these nations have set up for us to follow. This is real. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. And we'll start at verse 1. And the Most High thy power shall bring thee into the land which thou go to possess it, and have cast out many nations before thee, the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. Hear that? These nations were greater and mightier than us. That's why when you look at our salvation, it don't matter how great these nations are. The Most High already done this. Mashiach Yahushua was right there already doing it. Called the destroyer. He's coming back again to judge and make war. No matter what nation think they're powerful, the Most High going to send a Mashiach Yahushua to break down all these kingdoms, to set up righteousness on this earth. Because they can't do it. If that was the case, why isn't it done? So somebody got to come back and do it, and that's the Most High. Through a Mashiach Yahushua. Verse 2. Deuteronomy 7 and 2. And when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, 7 nations greater than us, thou shalt smite them. You deliver them. The Most High put a spirit on us to do this. This already been done once. So when people think, how are we going to do things that we're going to do in the future, as the prophecy says, this is what he said. Listen. And when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them, and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. This is key. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. This is very key right here. We're not supposed to be marrying with these other nations. For they will turn away thy son from following me. That's what it says. When you get with these other nations, then you can't follow the Most High. It says it because for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other idols. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. So, there it is again. Because all the nations' gods are idols. So, that's why he said when we get these other nations, and they bring forth their gods, that's what happened with King Solomon in his older age. And the Most High gave him all the wisdom you can even imagine. But he still fell short. Because he followed the way of the woman. These women, these women that are really the enemies of the Most High when you read Psalms the 83rd chapter. They turn his mind away from following the Most High. Just like it says here, the Most High is not a man that he should lie. And this is exactly what happened to King Solomon. Verse 5, Deuteronomy 7 and 5. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. So that's the commandment. That's what he said do. Now how are we going to uphold and follow the way of these heathen nations that we're amongst right now? I mean, how are you going to do that and justify it? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all. But this is what Israel's doing until this day. Deuteronomy 8 and We'll read verse 19. Deuteronomy 8 and 19. And it shall be, if thou do all, and it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Most High thy power, and walk after other idols, and serve them and worship them, I testify against you this day, that ye shall surely perish. As the nations which the Most High Mashiach destroyed before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Most High your power. See, it's about obedience. That's what he wants now. And we have mercy and grace, but we can't take advantage of that. We have to try our best to follow his commandments if you want to make it to the kingdom. This is serious, people. Are there any questions? Anyone online have any questions? Are you still there? Okay. Deuteronomy, the 11th chapter, in the 16th verse. It says, take heed to yourselves, that your heart be not deceived, and you turn aside and serve other idols and worship them. He would have said, take heed to yourselves, pay attention to yourself, that your heart, which is your mind, be not deceived. That your mind, you don't let your mind be deceived or fooled. And you turn aside and serve other idols and worship them. Serve other idols and worship these idols. And then the Most High's wrath be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven, and he don't bless you. That there be no rain, these are blessings, and that the land yield not her fruit, unless ye perish so quickly from off the good land which the Most High thy power giveth thee. So therefore shall you lay up these words, therefore shall you lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your hand, that they may be as frontlets between your eyes. And ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thine house, when thou walkest by the way, when thou liest down, and when thou risest up. Speaking of these laws of the Most High. And thou shalt write them upon the doorpost of thine house, and upon thy gates, that your days may be multiplied in the days of your children, in the land which the Most High thy power swear unto your fathers to give them, as the days of heaven upon the earth. Okay? This is what the Most High telling us. We got to listen. We got to come back to this. If you're not, then you better repent and be reborn and become that new creature. Say, for if ye shall diligently keep all these commandments which I command you to do them, to love the Most High your power. If you don't do it, he's telling you, you don't love him. That's why it says to love the Most High your power, to walk in all his ways, and to cleave unto him. Then will the Most High drive out all these nations from before you, and ye shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourselves. That's why I said, it's the same thing. Mashiach Yahushua came back and told us in John 14:15. St. John 14:15. He said, if you love me, keep my commandments. That's what I said. If you love the Most High, he said, keep his commandments. We just read what he said. Same thing. 1 John 5:3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. We're not supposed to be sad and doing what's right. We're supposed to be happy to do what's right, and hope that the Most High will bring forth blessings. to you, and not the curses. Wow. Let's read this. Deuteronomy 11 and 26. Deuteronomy 11:26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. That's the spirit. They come from 1 John 5 and 3 to come back and they're saying the same thing I'm talking about, coming back to it. It's the spirit. Behold, Deuteronomy 11:26. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if ye obey the commandments of the Most High, your power, which I command you this day. And a curse if ye will not obey the commandments of the Most High, your power, but turn aside out of the way, which I command you this day, to go after other idols, which ye have not known. Like I say, regardless how you look at it, these days of the week, these months are named after idols. They all been, these are diabolical plans that the elite know that they can do and have done to have us continue call on their idols every day. What day is it today? You're going to say it. But that's an idol. You're calling on an idol that they have disguised and have people calling on these things and don't even realize it. The months are named after, entities that they worship. Idols. All the gods of the nations are what? Idols. So what make you think the world we in now, they're not doing the same thing? Look at Numbers 23 and 19. Numbers 23 and 19. The Most High is not a man. First and foremost, he's a man. He's not a woman, because now they got this Bible with the Most High is a man and a woman. The Most High is a man. You can change it up to whatever you want to, but the Most High going to deal with you. They say the Most High is a man. Is not a man that he should lie, neither the Son of Man that he should repent. Hath he said, and shall he not do it? Or hath he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Go make it good. Every word of the Most High is pure. That's why people messing around but not realizing we need to enter the world. And you keep playing with the Most High, see what he's going to do to you. He said he's going to start his sanctuary first. People playing around and not really taking it serious. He said, Most High says, love thy neighbor as thyself, which is just as important as loving the Most High power with all our heart, mind, and soul and strength. It's just as important. But people take this lightly. But I'm going to read Wisdom of Solomon 6. I'm going to read verse 6. Listen to this closely. It says, for mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. Hear that? Read it again. Wisdom of Solomon 6 and 6. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. They will be mightily tormented. For he which is the Most High over all shall fear no man's person, neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he hath made the small and great, and care for all alike. Coming from the Most High, he don't fear no man's person. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. He's going to bring it. See, people think that they're going to escape through this without dealing with really the way the Most High is. And you're not gonna escape the judgment of the Most High. No one. Which you're gonna use the Mashiach Yahweh to judge everyone. That's why we gotta get it together. We have to be following the way that the Most High said we're supposed to be. That's why it says, Wisdom of Solomon 9 and 13.